Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. So before we begin this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so that way you can get notified of any new videos that come on board. If you have any topics, or if you have any suggestions of what you want me to go over, put it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to do so. Also, if you want to connect with me on other social media platforms, if you want to connect with me on Facebook, you can search for me under Carlos Flores Jr. If you want to connect with me on Instagram, you can connect with me at Back on Basics. If you want to connect with me on X, formerly Twitter, then you can also connect with me at Back on Basics. Once we connect on any of those platforms, feel free to send me a private message. I know that some of these questions may be a little bit more personal than others, and I want to make sure that I give you my take on them. Even if I give it to you one-on-one, right, as a reply to a private email, I'm more than happy to do so. So hit the like button. So today we're going to talk about how to let things go and how to move on. Two things. We're going to focus on how to let things go because there's a lot of different ways to do that. And I want to make sure that we focus on that. And then if I have to do a second video on how to move on, then I'm more than happy to do so. So for us as human beings, we tend to attach to things. There's different theories in psychology that talk about that. Attachment theory is one of them. Attachment theory means that you tend to attach to a thing, a place, a memory, a dream, anything. And you hold it and you don't want to let it go because it actually has meaning for you. It says something about you. You think that it's giving you a message. You think that you need to have it because if you forget it, then you'll forget what you need to do. It reminds you of a favorite person, or it reminds you of somebody that has passed. It reminds you of something that you have lost. I mean, there's so many things why we attach to things. And the thing is, a lot of the times, we should be letting things go and we should be moving on, because a lot of the times when you attach to something or somebody or a memory or a feeling or an emotion or anything, right, that you're focusing on, it tends to hold you back. But it doesn't hold you back in the neutral zone in the present moment. It actually tends to hold you back in the past. And it's hard. I get it. It's hard because for 48 years, and I'm telling you, 48, actually, about 47 and a half years, I've held an attachment to my weight. I've been attached. I've held it. I haven't been able to let it go. And it was one of the hardest things for me. I would learn how to let it go, but I wouldn't move on. And that's an important thing to do, because once you let it go and you come back to the present moment, then you need to move forward. So here's the thing. When we have something that we're attached to, or we hold on to something, right, we actually add a kind of like an attachment tag. Remember I talked about memory tags, right, with our brain. Here's a memory tag. That's how we'll be able to bring it up. Well, attachments are the similar concept. Here's an attachment tag, and the thing is, unless we separate the attachment from the attachment tag, you're still going to be wherever you've attached to. If it's the past, then that's where you're going to be. If it's a future that's way ahead and you haven't lived through it yet, that's where you're going to be. If it's somebody that you've lost, That's the attachment that you'll have, and that's what would be the attachment tag that you have. And the attachment tags can be a lot of different things. Could be emotion, can be anxiety, can be depression, can be feeling sorry, can be lost. It could also be missing somebody or something. There's so many reasons why we tend to attach to things and we can't move forward, right? We're stuck. We wanna make sure that we let things go, and so that way we can move on. Because here's the thing. Remember that topic or the theme that I talked about in the last 3 videos? Compounding effect, right? I talk about the compounding effect, how victories add on. And then you move forward. Even if it's just half a step, you're moving forward. Unfortunately, compounding effect can also mean attachments or keeping something, not letting things go. And what happens is they build upon each other. Things, people, that at some point it just becomes a blur, and it's hard unless you untangle all the things that you're attached to. And then it's going to take a little bit of time, because you're going to have to be honest with yourself. You're going to have to create a list and say, okay, these are the things that I'm holding still, that I'm not letting go. These are the things that I need to let go, but I'm still not letting go. And so you create a list and you write down everything, and you have to be honest with yourself, because if you miss something just because you think that it's not a big deal, it doesn't matter. Whether it's a big deal or a little deal, or whether you think that it's not attachment or you're not holding it back, put it on the list. Because what's going to happen is this. You're going to rate that list. Let's say you have 10, right? Things that you write down that you're attached to. Let's make it easy. Let's say you have 5 things that you're attached to, that you're not letting go. And so what you're going to do is you're going to rate these in descending order. So that means, right? Number 5 is the one that you have the least amount of attachment. And then number 4, you have a little bit more. Number 3, you have a little bit more. Number 2, you have a little bit more. Number 1 is the one that you have the most attachment to. If I give you an example, my dad's death in March is number 1 for me. Because you saw my video yesterday. I was in tears. I mean, and again, gentlemen, and I know ladies as well, anybody, it's okay to cry. That's one of the things that can help get rid of these attachments for you to let go. You have to process things. You can't just sit there and not talk about them or read about them or pray about them or meditate about them or talk to somebody. Let your support system help you, so that way you'll be able to be in the present moment and you'll be able to detach, right? The attachment to the attachment tag, so that way when you separate them, you can get rid of the attachment tag and the attachment can actually be let go, either to the past or to the future. Doesn't really matter, but it's hard. And I'm telling you, kind of like the logistics that you should take to let things go. But it's hard. I'm telling you. Because it's okay to let things go, and from time to time it comes back. Because what it's doing is your mind and your body is actually cycling through the process of letting go completely and moving on. You will know when you have completely let go of something, somebody, an issue, a dream, or whatever it is, when you feel like things are not attached to it, there's no attachment tag to it, and then, only then, you will get this, and I'm telling you, and I call it the yawn. Why do I call it a yawn? Because when our bodies and our minds are in sync, right? They're working back and forth, right? Mind-body balance. When our bodies are, when our minds are sharp and our bodies are healthy and fit, and to let stress out in yawns. Like this. A lot of times, that's a good sign that you're ready to move on. When I did therapy for a lot of years and I had clients in front of me and I was talking to them and I was trying to get to one of the reasons why they were in therapy with me, I knew that when that person became calm and started to yawn, I knew that they were ready to move on. Amazing. Your body tells you clues all the time about what you're ready to do. So I'm giving you one example of how your body tells you that you're ready to move on. And it's hard because, you know what? If I were to take the last 2 weeks, right, 14 days, and if I were to rate my attachment to my dad's passing away, well, with those days, I felt like I was letting go and I was moving on. But then yesterday, I just put his shirt on, and it was one of those shirts that just sat in the closet, and it got together with other clothing, and as soon as I smelled his scent, tears. I mean, that's human nature. It's okay. Not a perfect thing. And I'm telling you this, and I am telling you this. It's not a perfect system. But what it does mean is that I was successful in detaching, letting go, and getting ready to move on in 12 out of 14 days. That's compounding effect. That's a compounding effect. Because out of the total 14 days, 2 days were the ones that I really felt like I still needed to hold on to my dad. And believe me, I'm not saying that you're gonna let him go and forget about him and everything. All I'm saying is that you're letting whatever is keeping you from moving, you're letting it go. It could be an emotion. For me, and I'm telling you, and I'm being very honest, and remember what I said, whatever I do and whatever I'm telling you to do are exactly the same things that I'm doing as well. Human being. I get it. I have a lot of education and I have a lot of experience, but I'm still human. I still feel. I still attach. I still get emotional, like yesterday, because I put on my dad's shirt, right? And so, and it's interesting, right? That things that you're not too familiar with, but you know that what it belongs to, gives you different reactions. Yesterday was my dad's shirt. It was a black Under Armour shirt. I remember as soon as I was putting it on, again, I smelled the scent, Tearville, and that's okay. Today, I put on my son's shirt, but I'm smiling. Why am I smiling? One, because my son doesn't wear this shirt anymore. Two, it's because I'm finally fitting in this shirt. Do you think that that's going to be an attachment for me? No. You know what that's going to mean? I yawned when I put on this shirt and I realized that I can fit in it because it gave me that compounding effect that I'm ready to move on. That's one of the things that I've been concerned about is when I put my son's shirt, because he's smaller. I mean, he's wiry. He has muscles, but he's smaller. And this is, I mean, it's still not perfect, but it's a lot different. And that's what I'm telling you. And so as soon as that happened, I yawned and I was like, let's move on. Let's move on. I worry a lot about becoming a yo-yo like I did the first 47 years of my life, or less than 47 years, however it is. I don't want to go back up to 260. I mean, I can see the difference right now at 209 versus 260, 267. It's a lot of difference. Pre-diabetes at 267. Beginning of sleep apnea, snoring, acid reflux. It sucks. But the thing is, it just kept on compounding because at the same time, it worried me that I had all those things, that I was dealing with all those things. And I knew that it was because of my weight. And guess what? It made me even more anxious. It made me even more nervous about my health, about myself, about being a provider for my family. And so, yeah, it's a vicious cycle sometimes. So we have to work on it. Remember, write down a list. If it's 5 things, great. If it's 3 things, great. If it's 10 things, okay, great. And then you put them, you rank them from the ones with the least attachment to the one with the most attachment. And the one with the most attachment is going to be the last thing that we're going to do. Why? Compounding effect. We're going to start doing the little ones. So that way you finish, you detach and you move on. You let go and you move on. You let go and you move on. You see that? That's 3 let goes and moving on. So now it compounds. So now you're like, well, if I do 3, I can do the next one and the next one and the next one. And eventually you'll get to the toughest one. If you don't detach, remember, I'm giving you the option to connect with me on social media. Remember, Facebook at Carlos Flores Jr., Instagram at Back on Basics, on X, formerly Twitter, at Back on Basics. Send me a private message. I can help you adjust so that the hardest one that you're not able to let go, I can probably give you some suggestions. And again, there'll be suggestions. It doesn't mean that it's going to work, but I can help you with suggestions. I'm more than happy to do so. I want everybody to have mind-body balance. Be in the present moment. Be able to deal with the things that you're able to do and be able to let go and move on. So again, letting go of things can rank from very difficult to very easy. Tackle the very easy ones first and move that way. Because sometimes the ones that are harder, you may need help. Like from me, or from your support system, or your village. I'm happy to help you. Again, I am happy to help you. Remember what I said, right? I'm not gonna do the net. Once we get to like 1,000 subscribers or 1,200 subscribers or whatever number of subscribers, I'm not gonna make these videos into a paid membership or the best videos or the best scoops. I want you to have all the scoops. You hang in there with me. You subscribe to my YouTube channel. You keep on liking these videos. You keep on posting comments in the comment section or in my social media outlets. I will keep on making these videos. These are not going to be part of any paid subscription because I want to help you. I'm part of your support system. You got to understand that. I'm part of your support system. So again, let's recap. Think about the things that you can't let go. Write them down. Rank them from the ones that have the least amount, right, of resistance from the easiest to let go in your mind, because you're the only one that's going to make that decision. I can only help you adapt. You're the one who's going to make the decisions when to let go, how, and then moving on. So rank them from the easiest, and I'm not saying it's always easy, to the hardest, and start with the easier ones and build that momentum, right? Compounding effect, because the easier ones will go a little bit faster. Remember the cues, right? You'll know in your mind and your body, if you're in the present moment, that you are ready to let things go and move on. This yawn can tell you that you're ready to move on from whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're talking to. There's no issue in this world that's going to make you feel bad. There's no person in this world that shouldn't make you feel bad. There's no catastrophe or bad thing that could happen to you or those around you that should make you feel bad. The mindset. The body will help you, but the mind is the one that's going to process that. And it's not going to be easy. But if you stick to that list and you go down and down and down, eventually you're going to get to the one with the hardest way to do it. Again, I'm making myself available. Facebook, Carlos Flores Jr. Instagram, at Back on Basics. X, formerly Twitter, at Back on Basics. Private message me. Again, I'll help you adapt. Then you'll know the formula on how to let things go. And when you let things go, one by one, I'm not saying everything, you move on. And you have one less thing to deal with. Till next time, Back on Basics.